Hey everyone, welcome back to Supermarket Simulator again. I don't know where this box came from, but oh well, I will do that. I have spent the last couple videos just trying to make sure that I can keep everything restocked, because at this point my restockers are just barely keeping up, and I had to boost them a lot to keep it so that they can keep things on the shelves. I kind of wonder if the amount of restockers that you're supposed to have is supposed to be for the base game, because there are only 6 total restockers, and right now I have 5 of them. And already they're not keeping things fully restocked. And I wonder if the reason it seems imbalanced now is because the DLC licenses are adding a lot of stuff that maybe the base game licenses weren't accounting for, in terms of like how many products there will be if you have DLCs plus the base game, and how much restocking that will take, because the bakery obviously doesn't get restocked by the basic restockers, but my hardware does. My essentials like the cheese graters, cups, plastic wrap things do. And so I'm just kind of wondering if that might be part of it. Also, the ice cream is another thing where that's not really necessarily something that maybe the base game number of restockers is accounting for. And so I'm just kind of hoping that it will be okay, because I feel like at this point there needs to be something where there's a way to get either more restockers, or, like I said last time, sort of a role where they help with whatever needs to be done. So they could work as a cashier, sometimes they could work as a potentially a cleaner if there's ever that much. I feel like the one janitor that I have is kind of doing a good enough job on her own, but that way, like, there could be a role where whatever needs to be done can be done by someone, and if all the restockers are standing around, maybe they go, like, I don't know, help bake something, or help check someone out, or help someone with the scale, or something like that. I don't know if that would somehow break the game. I don't know if that's too complicated to implement. I don't really know from a game design perspective. But what I know from a player perspective is I don't think I have even half of the licenses, and I have 5 out of 6 total restockers, and already they are hardly able to keep up. And so I feel like it would be a good thing to either include more restockers, or possibly it could be a thing where, like, each DLC that you buy comes with, like, an extra restocker or something, so that in the base game, you have the amount that they think you might need for the base game, but then something in the DLCs that accounts for having more types of products that need to be kept restocked, because also so far, and again, I don't have all of the licenses for the DLC things yet, but the only ones that aren't something that gets done by someone who is not a restocker is the bakery, and then the ice cream is done by not someone who's a cashier, but the restocker is still responsible for restocking the ice cream section. So I don't know, maybe I'm misinterpreting something about how I should be doing this, but I think that that would be really helpful. Or, like I said in my last video, if there was like a boost all button for specific roles, because having to follow the people around and individually click on them to make sure that they are restocking things like that, and then they run and get far away, and it's hard to fully boost them without like sprinting after them and stuff. I feel like that would be really, really helpful too, to just have like maybe under like the restockers, if like here there was like a boost all, or if you could individually boost people on here and you could set like, I don't know, like $50 to boost them for the whole day or something. Because, like, I don't know, I guess that would just, like, make it easier, or less like I have to chase them down. Because also, if I'm having to chase them down to boost them, I can't focus on maybe helping with restocking myself, or doing a delivery order, or making sure I have all the inventory I need, or something like that. So, I don't know. Or if I could have a role who would do delivery orders for me in a way that would allow me to be here to help restock things. I feel like that would also be really helpful. Or maybe that could be the person who's like, if things really need to be restocked, they help with restocking, but if there's like 4 delivery orders, they can like, you can have a thing where it's like, would you like this person to take care of one of them? And you can say sure, or something like that. I don't know, again, like how complicated that would be to implement, but I'm just, I guess, musing and thinking out loud here, because I really, really enjoy this game, but I am concerned with how I'll be able to keep stuff on the shelves. I boosted that person once, very briefly, and I'm gonna try not to for the rest of the day and just see how many products I'm missing by the end. Because right now I have I'm losing track because I scroll and I don't know if it's missing. Okay. Okay, so I have 16 purchase licenses. But then I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33 licenses left to get. And I know that a bunch of those are DLC ones. Like, all of these are DLC things. But that's still kind of concerning if I have only one restocker left. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about that, because, like, just looking at this now, I'm getting so many customers, which I absolutely love. I think it's very, very exciting. But also, if you look at any of the items that are not baked goods, they're slightly sparse, and baked goods are not, because there's one person here whose entire job it is to just work on baked goods and focus on that, which is great. But I have over $100. I have almost $150 of vending machine money. Anyway, but, like, even though these people are working really hard, there are still, like, gaps you can see on the shelves and stuff. And I just have so many customers now that it's making it very difficult for them to keep up. And especially if you get a delivery order where it has something that doesn't stack very densely, and then you have to take, like, almost all of it. Like, a lot of the hardware tools are only, like, 8 displayed at a time, and that's if they're fully stocked when you start them. And obviously, I know I could eventually, once my store is larger, get enough shelving that I could display more of each product at a time. Like, 2 whole shelves per item or something. But, like, at this point, with the amount of space I have, I guess it's just, like, I really want to be able to keep everything on the shelves, and it's just sad because it's like, I love this game so much, but also I'm worried that it's going to become basically just a lot of people not being able to find what they need. Because even if I get the last restocker and also spend all day every day also restocking myself, I feel like that's not going to be enough, because even when I had the very, very basic first store with just one license and a few things, and to be fair, at that point I was also balancing checkouts as well, but trying to keep everything on the shelf, even just like that, and also taking care of making sure I had enough stuff, and now I have to do, like, delivery orders and everything too. I feel like that would get really impossible even with me helping. And I'm curious what other people have done in terms of if they've had the same problems. Maybe they just boost their workers all the time or display more at once. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I mean, It's kind of a random sort of mini rant. Like, I'm still enjoying the game, and I don't want it to come across that I'm not. I think this game is very, very fun. And I think it's because of that that I want it to continue to feel fun and not feel like I'm sort of scrambling to do stuff with sort of an understaffed situation, because it's already 9 and I feel like it's been 9 for a little while. Oh, there's no cone C. Okay. Exactly. Like, out of things. I might actually be out of that. But, like, I don't want it to just all be complaining because I have stuff and it's just the restockers haven't had time to put it on the shelves. But if you look at how late it is and how many people are still here, my store is getting so large and having so many customers every day. And I love it, but I need to be able to get more employees to keep up with that. Because I think the thing that I'm worried about, if this is a thing that's going to continue to be like that, is I have so much fun with this game, and it's a nice game to relax and play and just unwind and have fun with. But if it becomes a thing where constantly people are going to be complaining unless the products are on the shelves, but also I'm doing everything right by keeping the inventory full, and it's just the game not having the restockers putting things on the shelves fast enough, I feel like that could get frustrating because I'm genuinely trying very hard to run a good store, make sure I have everything as much as I can, and I don't know. I hope what I'm saying makes sense, because I'm curious if other people who are watching this who've played are experiencing something similar, because I don't know, it's such a fun game, and I want it to feel like it's still a game that I can enjoy and relax and not spend every day being like, oh no, even more products not found or something like that. So yeah, we'll see how it is at the end of the night. Also, I have almost $8,000 at the end of the day today, so we'll have to see. Okay. Products not found 0. That's honestly better than I was expecting. I know I've kind of spent the entire time on sort of a tangent rant thing. Products found expensive 1. Okay. Interesting then. Yeah. I mean, I'm actually very, very happy with that, because I feel like the last couple days before this, when I recorded, it's been very much, like, not able to keep things on the shelf, even with the new restocker. So, I'm very happy with that, actually. Actually, before I even do any of that, I need... not this. This one. Okay. Okay. sure what was expensive yesterday, because right now all these prices seem reasonable. But I feel like sometimes people just complain. Which, I mean, in real life I feel like is definitely fair. Groceries are very expensive right now. And all that. But in the game, I feel like this is another game that sort of emulates, I guess, a way that certain games make me put on sort of like a caricature of the type of person that I feel like is a stereotype in a situation, because in this game I'm like all profit all the time, and in real life that's not really a thing that I care about. Like, as long as I can afford what I need for my pets and myself, it's like, oh well, I don't need to make a ton of money. But then in this game, it's like, how much can I charge them without them complaining? And then the other game is Streamer Life Simulator, which I play on Twitch sometimes. It's got a lot of sort of similar things where it's like, I only do this for money, and I'm a streamer. Let me tell you about when I did this. And I sort of put on like a vlogging persona voice that's like the stereotype of what that is, because I've made vlogs before, and for the most part I feel like I don't really talk like that unless I'm doing it to sort of make fun of that dialect a little bit. Because, I don't know, in my opinion, vlogger voice just feels extremely artificial. Like, I want to meet someone who speaks like that on a regular basis and follow them around. Like, not in a creepy way, not in like a, oh, I want to stalk them. But like, I just want to, like, with their consent, follow them around to see whether they genuinely talk like that in their day-to-day life if there isn't a camera. Because it just feels like a voice that I don't think I've ever heard anyone use outside of that context. So I would just be extremely curious. Because it's also such a fun voice to sort of imitate as like a character. And it's also interesting because I feel like, I don't know, every single person I have talked to and mentioned the phrase vlogger voice, they kind of know what I mean by that, like, even without me having to say explicitly what it is. Which I think is interesting, because even some people who I know who really don't watch that style of content at all, and to be fair, to be completely honest, I make them sometimes and I don't even watch that kind of thing very much. I think because I'm very picky about, like, what kind of vlog channel I watch, because I don't really like a lot of them, but that's sort of like, hey guys, let me tell you about my haul today. I don't think I've ever spoken like that at all, unless it's to make fun of it and, like, voice act this role, basically. And I just think it's really, really funny. Because I'm curious what other, I don't know if, like, genre is the right word, but, like, what other, for lack of a better word, video genres have such a specific voice like that, I guess. Because I don't know if I can think of any. I feel like there's certain ones that have somewhat similar patterns. Like, I feel like a lot of gaming channels sound somewhat similar in terms of how they introduce games, how they recap games, things like that. And I think there are definitely times where I sort of fall into that category, where it's like, I do sound sometimes like other people who play games, because I feel like there's only so many things, or so many ways you can talk about specific games without, like, sounding somewhat like someone else who's also played the same game. But also, I feel like I usually notice that in hindsight, because a lot of the times when I'm playing a game, like, especially if it's a game that I'm not very familiar with, I like to go into it with as little outside experience watching it being played by someone else as I can, just because it's like, I really want to experience what it is and figure it out for myself first. And then if I enjoy it, and like this one, I sort of know how it works now, and so even if I was to get new things, it's not like getting a new license would have a huge spoiler as far as I'm aware. And so it's like, at that point, I'm like, okay, I'll watch something, and I realize, oh, I said something very similar to someone else in a similar situation, and I just think it's kind of funny. I feel like the one that I've been trying very hard not to give myself spoilers about, but have accidentally seen a few spoilers about, is Subnautica 2, which I'm playing on Twitch, because that one is definitely, like, one of the best things about it, and I guess Subnautica in general is good for this. Why did I lose a point for something? I just saw that, I think. But it's the fear of the unknown that makes it so interesting, and I love it. And so, that aspect, it's like, I don't want to give myself spoilers. There's another person inside of a person again over here. I think that shelf is making people in the line stack on top of each other in a really weird way. Am I out of these? I'm not. Okay. That might be what I lost a store point over, because some of these are much emptier than I feel they should be. This is what I mean. Okay, I'm starting to have these restockers fall behind again, even though they were pretty much fully restocked today when I opened the store. And that's what I mean. It's like, it's unpredictable when it's gonna be a problem, and it's also unpredictable, like, I did everything correct in terms of I bought all the inventory, I made sure that the people were ready and sort of getting everything from the outside into storage rather than actively getting stuff on the shelves before I opened the store? Maybe I'm misunderstanding how it works. Maybe I should have waited for them to put everything in storage too, but it feels like it should be. If there's something outside or in storage that they need badly because we're really low and or out, maybe they would prioritize that, because that's how I thought it worked. I'm not actually sure. I will most likely have at least one item missing today, though. Someone couldn't find something. Yep, seems accurate. And I don't know what's different either, because maybe it's the delivery orders or the timing of them compared to the rush hour of everyone being here. Maybe it's something about, I don't know, maybe I should have let the restockers have longer. I have no idea. Maybe the delivery orders just are asking for more things that sort of take time to get on the shelves. Whatever it is, I just hope it can be ideally fixed, but also, even if not, like, I just hope it doesn't become a really big problem if I just want to enjoy the game and not worry about running out of restockers and how much they can get done in a day. It's weird that I'm all the way around the block and can still faintly hear the beeping of my cash registers. And or scale. I'm not actually sure which is which right now. It's a very loud device, whatever it is. Okay. It's 9 and there's still so many people. There's another guy's face coming out of that guy's neck. I feel like that's not very healthy. That might be a problem. Okay, there we go. He's so much shorter, so it made it look very odd. Oh no, there's another guy in his shirt. And it's only happening with that line, I think. So that means it's probably this shelf being the cause. I was gonna say problem. Oh my gosh, that guy just got a new face. What the heck? Wait, is that the same face? One just has hair? That's kind of weird. Okay. I do really love how many customers I have now, though. It's very satisfying to watch. Because it's been 9 for so long, and yet I already have so much. I have almost 10,000, and I still have customers. And there's still like, I guess making large purchases, so I don't even know how close I'm gonna get. I always saw the late game licenses that cost so much, or the huge star expansions that cost so much, and was like, that's gonna be so hard to ever reach because of the financial aspect. But then it's actually the resources in terms of not money, but in terms of workforce that's gonna be the limiting factor, which is kind of not what I expected to be the problem with it. Not found for 91 customers. So I'm getting a lot of people. But again, this is a day that I did not boost anyone at all. I had a surplus of every item in storage or in the loading area outside. So it wasn't that I just didn't have any for restockers. It was that they cannot keep up. So that is what I mean by there's a slight issue here. But anyway, I still enjoyed it, and I hope you did as well. I'm going to actually leave this here for now, but thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!